Hi, this is Dr. Rachael Coleman with Be in Health. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's health and wellness topics. I am Dr. Rachael Coleman with Be in Health, and today we are talking about men's health. So, how many of us have healthcare providers? Hopefully, that's everybody. How often should you see your healthcare provider? And healthcare provider typically refers to physician, physician assistant, nurse practitioner. It really depends on your health needs and conditions. If you're generally healthy and don't have any conditions, you're not on any medications, it can be from 1 to 3 years or as recommended by your healthcare provider. Usually, if you wait 3 years before visits, you may be considered a new patient. But you do want to have a medical home because emergencies happen, and sometimes it's best to have a primary care provider that you can call instead of going to urgent care or the emergency room, if at all possible. It's very important to get health screens. So, what are some of the health screens? We screen blood pressure and vital signs, we check the weight, we look at medications, what medications you're on, and any allergies. We look into your medical history, your family history, and also look into things like how much alcohol, tobacco, or any drugs that you use. Any diabetes, we do diabetic screens, cholesterol screens, colon cancer screens, depression screens, and even safety screens. So when we talk about blood pressure and blood pressure screens, we want your blood pressure to be less than 120 over 80. According to the American Heart Association, normal blood pressure is less than 120 over 80. And stage 1 hypertension, we call high blood pressure hypertension. It's not that you are hypertense or you're anxious or anything like that. Hypertension means high blood pressure. If your blood pressure is consistently above 130, the top number, or above 80, the bottom number, that's considered stage 1 hypertension. And something needs to be done about it because it does cause health risk. Moving on to weight. Yes, we're going to talk about weight. And typically we use the body mass index as a measure of what's a healthy weight. The body mass index is based on height and weight, and normal is 18.5 to 24.9. A person is considered overweight if their body mass index, or BMI, is 25 to 29.9. Obesity is when that number is above 30. And a person is considered underweight if their body mass index is less than 18.5. You can calculate your body mass index from a chart. There's many charts that you can Google. You can Google a body mass index chart or calculator, put your numbers in, or you can calculate it by taking your weight in pounds and multiply it by 703, and then divide it by your height in inches, and then divide your height in inches by your height in inches again. The waist circumference can be a better measure of your health status. We want you to have a waist circumference of less than 40 inches. So when you get home, get out the tape measure, measure your waist. If it's above 40, inch your way down. Diabetes. What is diabetes? And I'm going to talk about type 2 diabetes, which is the most common. This is when the body has difficulty metabolizing glucose or sugar. It can present with excessive thirst, frequent urination, fatigue, hunger, blurry vision, and even tingling in an extremity. We diagnose it with blood work. But you can't get the blood work done if you don't go to the doctor, right? So this is why you need a healthcare provider. Complications of untreated diabetes can lead to heart disease, stroke, loss of vision, kidney failure, and the need for dialysis, neuropathy or neuropathic processes going on in the body, and even erectile dysfunction. Cholesterol. Now, cholesterol is one of those things that we talk about, we do screening labs for, but you don't feel your cholesterol being high. Anybody feel, ooh, my cholesterol's high today? You don't feel that being high, right? But it's one of those things that can cause problems with your vascular, your cardiovascular system. So our goal for cholesterol, the total cholesterol should be less than 200. That HDL should be greater than 40. Your LDL should be less than 100. And if you have a diagnosis of coronary artery disease, it should be less than 70. The triglycerides should be less than 149, but it would be better if the triglyceride level was less than 100. So how do we manage cholesterol? We want you to increase your physical activity, eat healthier with more fruits and veggies and less red meat and dairy. So limit those double cheeseburgers with extra cheese, right? And of course, lose weight, quit smoking, and then of course, there's medication. We also do cancer screens. So there's colorectal cancer screenings, which you discuss that with your doctor, whether you're going to do there's testing kits, and there's also colonoscopies or sigmoidoscopies that can be done to screen the colon. We also talk about the prostate. The guidelines have changed. Many of you will be glad to know that it's no longer recommended to do the digital rectal exam in asymptomatic individuals. So if you're not having symptoms, that's no longer, but you're going to talk with your doctor about that, okay? You're a healthcare provider. There's skin screens. Skin cancer does exist. So if you notice any lesions on your skin that's changing rapidly, you want to bring that into medical attention. There's lung cancer screens as well if there's a smoking history. There's infectious disease screens from hepatitis C, HIV, and sexually transmitted infections, all based on your history. Vision screens. How often should we get our eyes checked? There's a lot of different recommendations on this, but generally every 1 to 2 years. If you have corrective lenses, you want to go more consistently, but you do want to have your eyes examined because not only looking at your visual acuity or how well you see, but also there's other diseases of the eye. We can see changes in the eye related to high blood pressure and diabetes, and there's some other conditions as well. Dental exam. Our teeth are very important. We got to take care of them if we want to keep them, right? So generally every 6 to 12 months, you want to see the dentist. See the dentist before there's a problem and do your routine maintenance. All right. Well, once you get checked out and be in health. Next, I'm excited to have personal trainer Michael Young here. He has been a personal trainer for more than 25 years, and he has more than 30, there's 32 plus, there's so many awards that, and he can share more with you about that in powerlifting. So he's going to share with us personal training and personal fitness.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Be in health. Thank you for having me. Thank you, audience, for being here. I'm Michael Young. I am a resident of Forest Park. I've been in Forest Park for 31 years. I'm originally from Hamilton by way of Lima. Um, I'm going to give you some background of my start, my background as I was introduced to the fitness game and the fitness arena. And then I'm going to bring you to the awards, and I'm going to give you some testimonials towards the end. And I want to stay in that realm, and then we'll take questions too. I see some friends here in the back. I see some friends here that know of my lifting history and some of my lifting awards and some of the accomplishment I have made in the exercise field. As Dr. Coleman has told you, I've been a personal trainer, the IDFPF trained. I've been a personal trainer in Hamilton, in such spas as the Ballet Health Spa, FitWorks, a lot of other places I've worked in, not working for that particular company, but just working in that field of fitness. I've been a personal trainer in that weight loss factor. I've been a personal trainer in health. I've been a life coach too as well. But as going on in my infancy, I started uh, wondering why I was so small. Back in Lima in 1972, when I graduated in 74, I graduated weighing 119 pounds. And needless to say, I was bullied. I was bullied. I'm going to tell this, and it's kind of embarrassing. But they stuffed me in the garbage can. A bunch of seniors, juniors, there was a big janitor garbage can like this, and some guys grabbed me, and a few guys had my legs. They stuffed me in it and put the lid on it. And at that point, it's like that kick that sand in your face type of deal. I wanted to get big, but it never was stuck to my mind to, go lift weights, get big so I could beat these guys up. And that went by when I got married. I think I weighed 122 pounds in 1977, 78. I went to that ripping 121 pounds, got a job, started working, lifestyle set in, age set in a little bit, 22, 23. Then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take up boxing. So I went into boxing. Uh, I boxed a little bit, then I was just, arms was a little too short, and I got getting beat up. And then I went into karate, and I thought, well, I'll get into karate. I'll get into some other thing that I can be good at. Because I wasn't good at much. I wasn't good at football, never did get the uniform. I was too small to play. I couldn't find my niche. And I wanted to find myself. And this is how I just did both of those. Then finally, I was gaining a little weight and I was outclassed. I was in my Aaron Pryor was training there. I was training with some of those other guys in the same gym, and my weight just would take me to a level that where my arms couldn't fulfill. So I got out of boxing. I worked, took care of my family, and finally I was in Hamilton. I was in Hamilton, Ohio, at the YMCA, and I would go down from playing basketball, and I started working out. It wasn't conscious to me first that all this is for my health. I did this as recreational. There's nothing was in my mind to think, you know what, I'm thinking about my health 20 years ago. No, no, no. Recreational, I seen them down there working out. I started to work out with some of the guys that were from the neighborhood school, Baden, and the Baden Rams had such a good football team. So I worked out with those guys there, and I started working out, started lifting, and it was sort of satisfying to me. And I would work my legs and work a little bit, and it got better and it got better. Then after a bit, I found out that, you know what? I'm gaining. And then I started to just bench. Then I found my niche. And my bench would just move. At 165, my benching was moving up. And I got to thinking, no, this is some self-reward that I've done. Because I felt good about myself, it felt rewarding that I could finally do something and be good at. So my benching would move and I would run and I would work out at the gym. Finally, my bench moved up. I got in my first contest at a weight of 171. My best bench at 171 was 405 pounds. And I thought, that is great. I finished first. And I thought, I could do better. Then I went on and kept training. At this age, I started training. I was 27, 28 when I started to train to really enter bench press contest. And bench press contest is just you bench only. I did deadlift and other, but the thing that was captivating is that I was good at benching. And people would say, well, you got short arms. That made you good. Nah, the tenacity and the drive made me good. That I wanted to be good because I wanted to be better at something that I wasn't. And I wasn't really that star athlete. I wasn't really that go-to person. And I wanted to do something to establish Michael. So I laid in that gym, exercised, benched, got better at benching. Went to my first bench press contest at 181. I benched 435 pounds. This was without steroid. Totally natural. Totally natural. And I benched 135 at 181. I won at least 25, 20 contests at that weight, and my weight was blooming. I went to 198. Needless to say, when I went back to Lima for a football game at 198 pounds, the people didn't know me, especially that bully Ernest Ingram. I really wanted to see that bully. I really wanted to see Ernest Ingram. And I went around looking for him at the game, and he saw me. And he looked at somebody and said, "Is that Michael? Is that Mikey Young?" So I said, "Oh my God, look at him." Because I was huge. I was buffed. My arms were buffed. I was 198 pounds. And I really wanted to do Ernest in. Oh, did I? But I really wanted him to see me. And that was sort of self-gratifying, that my body was changing. Then I went to 198. Then I won. I set one record, 181 in the United States. I was fifth in the United States in overall bench press. Then I went to third at 198 overall. I got plaques at home for these awards. I set many state records in the state of Ohio. I was Mr. Bench in the city of Hamilton, Ohio. I was Mr. Bench in Cincinnati. I won the Parkersburg Open at least 4 times. I won the state of Ohio 3 or 4 times. Belpre champion 4 times. Indiana, I was champion in Indiana. I was champion in Kentucky. I went so far as Florida. I even benched over in Paris. Uh, my bench moved, my body weight moved again from 220. At 220, in my class of being drug free, at 220, and at my age of 40, I was at the ripping age of 46, 47. I benched 475 pounds for 3 reps. And I think that gentleman right there can attest to some of my benching feats. I was I was quite the strong guy in benching. He would come over and ask me some of the things, and I would try to help him. We'd be over FitWorks, and I'd help anybody who wanted to stop and ask. Then I went to 55. Was my last benching contest at the age of 55. I think I benched 505 at 55, and no roids, a bench shirt, of course, but I did that at that age. And I did it in your senior class. Totally, my career spanned from 28, spanned it right up until 57, 58 was my last contest. I didn't bench anymore. I think father time and age, but I still can bench. I went last week, I think I benched like 140 with 20 reps. I did that just cold, did 20 reps of that. So I'm still in pretty good shape. I'm still in that fitness mind. I'm still got that exercising. I'm still, this is a way of life. I used to go to the gym 3 times a week, to lift and this, that, and it is proven to be a savior for me. At the age of 69, I'm 68, I'll be 69. I'm still able, to get around. I'm still able to be a functional in the gym. I'm still able to walk and still have good health. In light of some things that have happened to me through cancer, which I was blessed and healed, through back surgery, which I was blessed and healed, through my Lord Savior Jesus Christ, I was blessed, and not having this surgery on my back. Exercise healed that. And I want to just I want to go to that because if it was not for my neighbor, I see my neighbor. He had a dog. His dog's name was Scooter. We would call him Igor because that's what my wife told me his name was, and his name was not Igor. But we learned later what the dog's name. But my neighbor had a big stick, and he would walk with his dog on that leash. And I would be in the garage, sometimes sitting there watching him. And I was just watching. He'd walk, and it'd be every day. And finally, I stopped him, and I'd ask, today I'd ask him, listen, how old are you? He says, I'm 82. 82 and still walking that dog. I said, how often do you walk? He says, every day. And that's the secret. Exercise. If if you don't use it, you'll lose it. That's a poignant statement, but that means so much. If you don't use your muscle, you lay around. Me and the doctor was talking earlier today. If you lay around, you don't get up. If that bed becomes a magnet, and it holds you more, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose that drive. Mentally, what does it take to go to the gym? What does it take to go to the gym? I told my wife, listen, sweetheart, let's go to the gym. She would make, I got to do this, I got to do that. I said, Linda, if you just go in the gym, touch the weight, and come on back out. Get in your car and come on home. That's the first step. You don't have to go in and think, I got to go in and run a mile. I can't go in and do 500 push-ups. No, I just want you to go in the gym, touch that weight, and come on back. Just don't drink a soda. Get your orange juice, touch that weight, come on, get in the car and come on home. That's the first step of mentally getting you prepared to say, I want to exercise. Because we look in the mirror. When I look in the mirror and when I look straight at the mirror, I can see the abs coming in. I'm thinking, boy, am I in shape? But when I turn sideways, reality sets in. I got that pouch. That pouch was developing. I'm thinking, I don't really want to see that. But that lets me know, we would get in our minds what we don't want to see. As long as I can pose and them biceps big, I don't need the gym. But no, exercising is more than bench pressing. Exercising is more than just lifting. Exercising is movement, walking. But great, an exercise program with a combination of walking, with a combination of exercise is great. I'd say you have to have a lifting regimen that complete the whole circle, to encompass everything. You got to have a lifting program. You got to have an exercising program. And you should have a stretching program as well. As we get older, muscle, and I think Dr. can better clarify, but muscle become cannibalistic. A muscle would eat itself because it's lacking nourishment. It don't want sugar. Muscle won't eat fat. It'll just turn and eat itself. And that's why we're fat. We're fat because there's no muscle. There's no muscle in fat. And two, muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle weighs more than fat. And what I learned to do is make small muscles stronger. And when I learned that, as I made my smaller muscles stronger, that supported my bigger muscle. Therefore, I was stronger. And even at 68, going to 69, I still bench 350. I think I can do 375. I ain't pushed it, but I still think I can get right in those numbers. I still, as of last week, I walk a mile on the treadmill. I ride the bike for 15 miles twice a week. My heart's pumping. I'm not on any blood pressure medicine, thank God. I'm not on any really, really serious medicine. I thank God for that because I'm trying to do it natural. I want to exercise, implement that into my lifestyle. Here's where I get you now. Lifestyle, lifestyle, lifestyle. You can go out and buy a new Cadillac. Anybody can go out and buy a new car. Don't put no oil in it and run it. Don't change the oil. Never maintenance it. Never change the spark plugs. Never put cheap gas in it. Put McDonald's gas, fast food gas in that thing. And pretty soon, that car's gonna break down. Go take it to the shop. They're gonna have engines blow. What do? You gotta buy another new car. The body, you don't get another one. You get one shot at this. One shot only. One shot only. You wanna take care of it. You don't get a replacement. Sometimes they got it now where you can get replacement parts, this, that, and that. That's fine and dandy, but sometimes you can't get a replacement for this body. You got to take care of it. Black men, African American men, the number one killer. We think other things are the number one killer, robbery. The number one killer is eating and not in shape. The number one killer is not having an exercise program. Here's the number one killer is we won't see a doctor. For the life of me, we won't go to the doctor. I don't know if it's in the, we taught as children, don't go to the doctor because that masculinity thing, I don't need to go to the doctor. I run to the doctor. If there's something wrong or there's something errant, I go. And it doesn't hurt my masculinity to say I go to the doctor. It doesn't hurt me at all. Something goes wrong or something I need to be checked. If this is getting monitored, I want to go monitor to see if everything's in good shape. As you get older, you're going to think more of that. You're young now. You're walking straight, your head's up good, everything's working good. You're pitching in the bullpen. They bring you out to pitch. Honey says you're pitching 100. Yeah, he's in it. But pretty soon, that age factor is going to catch up with you. And you're not going to be able to come out and start pitching, if you know what I mean. You're not going to be able to go to the mound as much. And then as you get older and older, going to the mound might not be a successful pitch. You may have to do a third inning exit. You might have to have a relief help, whatever it is. But to stay in shape, And to have an exercise regimen means I'm in the game. They haven't relegated to putting me out on the farm. I'm still here. I'm still working. I'm still viable. Me, I look at some of the men I was talking to earlier today, uh, Deacon Thompson and my learned doctor. He's 84. 84. Thompson, my neighbor, Walt Thompson's 82 and look good. They look good. An 82-year-old and 84-year-old African American men, they look good. I didn't see not one of them bringing a CNI dog. Not one of them had a crutch. And the regiment, I asked him, I sat down, so you still, he said, I still walk. I said, you seem like I had to recapture what I taught. I've gotten away from it. And the doctor made it plain to me. He says, no, you just recaptured what you thought you lost, but you knew all along. But I put it in the back of my mind that I wasn't going to, I was just going to not be that, do that, or whatever. Ways of life, changing the, cutting the grass, other things I wanted to do, work, things of that nature. And it took me away from the prime motivated to good health and then having a good exercising regimen, having a good diet as well, but an exercise regimen. That's a way of life. Just like you get up in the morning, put your clothes on, going to the gym ought to be that. Your body and health ought to be first and foremost in your sector of life. Besides eating, going to the gym. Besides going to church, I'm going to the gym. So much time has got to be given to exercise. Okay, so I don't go to the gym, but so much time should be given to exercise. Okay, simple, simple. I'm getting ready to go. But one thing is this: instead of taking the cart at Kroger's and riding that cart, walk. Simple things. Elevator, walk up the steps. Take the elevator back down. At least you're putting your mindset in to I need to move. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Thank you.
Today, here we got a roasted chicken. With the suggestion from Dr. Coleman, I want to thank Dr. Coleman for inviting me to this, being part of it. So she said the football, we was talking about men's health, kind of like a tailgate theme, excuse me. So, well, I mean, you know, tailgate, we got everything. We got chili, we got stuff leaking, you know, so of course, by me and us being health conscious, we did something different. Instead of fried, we got roasted. Salmon, a lot of time I've seen salmon balls and just, you know, salmon Alfredo. We got cured salmon here. Um, Fruit, we got oranges, we got citrus fruit. A lot of times we use in meal prep, we use the acidic. We always try to put something acidic in it because acidic kind of cleans the palate. It you know, and it helps with weight loss. So here we got oranges, dragon fruit. That's ugly. I'm looking at them. Don't even know the name. Pomegranates and kiwi. Instead of a whole bunch of chips, we got stone ground, different assorted. Some of them seasoned. Low-fat cheese is actually a pepper jack. We got roasted peppers, sweet peppers, crunchy, spiked shrimp, Gulf shrimp. We got what they call a mesclun. We call it power green because it's just about anywhere from 8 to 12 different type of greens. And they started mixing them a few years ago. Instead of you buying them separate, let's just put them all together. Watermelon, we got carrots here, multicolored carrots. Of course, we know carrots, beta carotene, the whole nine. And then we got a bean dip.
I know you want more, but that's all for now. And until next time, be in health.